power. So W congruent to B. Now I need to know why. 4. Why are those two congruent?
It's alternate interior.
Good. They're alternate interior angles, but hey, anybody remember how to write it from the parallel lines unit? Great midterm review here. Great midterm review. How do I write that? 7. Come on, Kier. Darn right. Look at you. Parallel lines imply
Alternate interior angles.
perfect. Good job. One angle down, to one more to go. All right, all I need is angle, angle. All I need is angle, angle. 2. Good job. 13. Another pair.
Angle WSR congruent to BSB.
Nice. I like you did those. You could have went the easy way out. The other way, you could have said R and V, right? Because they're alternate interior, and just put them in step 2 all together. All right. Everyone see the other pair are alternate interior as well. But I'll do the verts. You want to do the verts, Sean? We'll do the verts. Angle WSR congruent to angle VSB. And I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday or not, how frustrated I'm getting with vertical angles. Did I mention it yesterday? Stop putting reflexive. I don't know where it's coming from. They're vertical. Reflexive is one angle is equal to itself. These are vertical angles. All right, and now I have angle, angle. Whew. They're not going to be that bad. Tomorrow we'll go an extra step, but this is where you're living right now. The only thing I would worry about is anybody putting the congruent sign here between them. Come on, don't be an embarrassment. Angle, angle. And then part B. All right, now that we know they're similar, SB is 10, WS is 15, SV is 20, RS, what is it? This is not part of the proof. This is just a little algebra afterwards. Let me ask this question again. When two triangles are similar, what do I know about the sides? They're not equal. What do I know about the sides? If two triangles are similar. 5, help me out. They're in proportion. Correct. So that's what I want you to set up right now, is a correct proportion that will solve for x. All right, so figure out what sides match up. And remember, if you're ever in question what sides match up, use your similarity statement, right? What's WS match up with? Use your similarity statement. It'll tell you. I'm going to ask for a proportion here in a second from somebody. Two. Yep. We're going to learn. 1. Anna, got a proportion for me?
I'm sorry. I'm completely blanking. 20 over x and 15 over 10.
Look, we talked yesterday. You may have a different proportion written down than what Anna just told me, but as long as you're cross multiplying 20 and 10 and 15 and x, you have a correct proportion. All right. As long as you're cross multiplying those values, you have a correct proportion. So 10x, not 10x, 15x equals 200. Those don't match up. VS and SR. What's your deal?
Do they have to be in the same triangle?
What do you mean?
Like 20 and 15?
As it's true. Thank you. Didn't notice that. Oh, God. Yeah, Sandy, you see that? 20 and you gave me 20 over x, which correspond, right? So if you're going to start with 20, you got to give me 10 first.
Oh, sorry.
Okay? I should have been me. Respect. Yeah, respect. I'll remember that when I'm grading your test next week. 10x equals let's see, 20 times 15. 20 times 15? 300. X equals, I can do this, 30. Questions? All right, one more. Look, we're not doing a ton of proofs. There's only so much I can give you. You know it's AA, right? So there's only so much I can give you. Oh, rectangle. Let's see how much we learned there over the last 5 weeks. Okay, make sure we know what triangles were proven similar, because that looks like they're going to overlap here. This one and this one. I got the whole thing's a rectangle, and AQ is perpendicular to diagonal BD. And I know about something about perpendicular lines there. Anybody see any of the angles we're going to need? Because we need AA, right? So where's 1A in this diagram? Where's one pair of angles you can see are congruent up there? Talk me through it if you can. Where's one pair of angles up here? Talk me through it. 3, talk me through it here.
We need DEA is proportional.
Oh. Why are we doing proportions here? We're trying to prove the triangle's similar, Spence, right? So I need angle. So I'm looking for 2 angles in these 2 triangles that will be congruent to each other. That's what I'm looking for. My 2 highlighted triangles, I'm looking for at least one pair of angles that are going to be equal. That's what I'm asking from you right now. I'm not asking about proportions or anything. Can you find any angles? The Givens told me these 2 are perpendicular. That's why I drew a right angle in. So you see how there's a right angle in my orange one? Is there a right angle in my yellow one?
DEA.
Why? DEA? That's not an angle in my yellow one though. Right? That's not an angle in triangle BAD. I need an actual full angle. That's not an angle in triangle DAB. What's the full thing? What do they tell me?
Oh, DAB is a right angle
It's a why?
because it's a right triangle.
How do you know that? Where did the right triangle come in? What's the whole figure? ABCD is a what?
Rectangle.
What do rectangles have from last unit?
Opposites.
Okay. Oh, what did you just tell me it had here?
A rectangle. Oh,
Rectangles have right angles. Everyone good? Does everybody see the 2 right angles in each triangle? Okay, now you have to tell me they're right angles first. And that's going to take 2 steps because they're right angles for different reasons. So let me first start with the orange triangle I have up here. Angle AEB is a right angle. And that's because why? How do I know that one's a right angle? It's not because it's in a rectangle. How do I know that one's a right angle? 5, how do I know that one's a right angle? Perpendicular lines form right angles. And then there's a second right angle in the other triangle, angle DAB, but for a different reason. Why is that one a right angle? 9? Yep. Rectangle implies all right angles. Everyone see where those 2 are coming from? Now you still have to tell me what about them. You told me they're right angles. Now tell me they are 3. Come on, Spence. Now you got to tell me they're congruent. And there's your first A in angle. Oh, angle. All right angles congruent. All right, where's the second one then? A little bit tougher, maybe. Do we see where the second pair of congruent angles would be? Don't overcomplicate it either. Look at the diagram. Has nothing to do about being a rectangle. Where is the other pair of angles? Do we see him at all? 8. See him?
It's angle DBA and EBA.
They share the same angle. That's reflexive. All right, that's reflexive. Good. They share the same angle. Angle DBA congruent to itself. And then, yep, here we go. Now I have the triangles are similar. Everyone all right? That's it for proofs here today. We're going to do some algebra now because you guys need a little practice setting up a proportion and solving it. But everyone's good here. We're okay on the proof. Going? All right, let's do a little algebra. I know you're happy about that. Calculators, if you don't. Let's roll, calculators. Go ahead, label your diagram in number 1. Find dB. All right, real quick before we do anything, finding dB. Everyone see why I gave you parallel lines, correct? What type of angles were those called back in the day? Corresponding, and then everybody see how both the little triangle and the larger triangle share angle A. So this is angle, the triangles are similar. That means if the triangles are similar, sides are in proportion. Ready? When you make your proportion, you are only allowed to put full sides of each triangle in there. So guess what? X plus 2, not going in my proportion. That's not a full side. Either is X. Well, dB anyway. All right, so I'm not putting those in my proportion. I can only put full sides in. All right, so I have the small triangle and the big one. Somebody give me a side in the small triangle first so I can start building my proportion. 5, a side in the small triangle. 1. Do you see what that side corresponds with in the bigger triangle? Name the side. Don't tell me how long it is. Somebody name the side that corresponds with AD. What side corresponds with AD in the big triangle? 8. AB. Great. AB. Now, how do I write how long AB is? That's 1 and that's X. How do I write how long it's going to be then? How long is AB? 9? What's that? Ready? Here, let me do this. How long is AB? What'd you do to him? Okay, let me replace it again. How long is AB? What? Where are we getting that from? You got it. What are the two things you got to add together? You can't add those together. So you're just going to write what? Well, I'm just going to switch it on you. X plus 1. Okay? Everybody good? How I know 1 and X plus 1 now correspond. Now you have to pick a side from the triangle that has a side of 1. So what am I forced to pick now? What's the other side I know? 12. What's the other side I know that has from the triangle with the side of 1? Here's the triangle, right? That had a side of 1. What's the other side? Which is how long? Oh, yeah, there we go. So it's going to be X. Now, what does AE correspond with in the big triangle? Name it. Don't tell me how long it is. Name it. 3. Spence, name the side that corresponds to AE.
AC.
AC. Add the sides, and what do you end up with? AC. How long is AC when I add these two segments together? 4?
2x plus 2.
2x plus 2. Okay, we good? All right, I'll do this one with you, and I'm going to let you try another one on your own here. All right, let's cross multiply. 1 times 2x plus 2. Cross multiply. I'll ask you guys, what do I end up when I cross multiply the other side? 10 when I cross multiply the other side?
2x plus 1.
2x.
2x plus 4x.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What do we cross? Not cross add, cross multiply, right?
X to the second
There you go.
plus 1x.
That much better. There you go. Cross multiply. This is why we did all the work on day 1 on Tuesday. This is why we did it. What's got to happen next? I have x squared and x over here. So what do I need to do with my 2x plus 2? 1. Anna, what do I need to do here? Next step.
You subtract 2x and 2 over to the other side.
Get one side equal to 0 because we are about to factor. What do I end up with for the rest of it? 11. What's the rest? No. 2. What's the rest of it? 1. I'm going to go 3 for 3 here. 13. What's the rest of it?
X squared minus 1x minus 2.
Nice job. All right, here you go. We spent a lot of time factoring on Tuesday. 2 numbers that do this and add to this. 2 numbers that multiply to this and add to this. Dig deep here. There's only certain numbers that multiply to 2. Five, got those numbers?
Well, -2 and 1.
-2, +1, good work. So x minus 2 equals 0. X plus 1 equals 0. So what are my 2 answers here? 12?
Positive 2 and negative 1.
Yeah. And here's where we have to start being a little more disciplined. Does this problem, did it start out with a diagram? Yeah, it did, right? -1, what's the problem here? Look at your diagram. If x equals -1, what's going to happen up here? What's the problem we're going to have? 6, what's the problem if x equals -1?
You have a negative side.
Yeah, I'm going to have a negative side dB. I'm going to have a negative side AE. Can't have negative sides, so -1 cannot be my answer. I'm just going to be left with 2. Only when you guys have diagrams. If you don't have a diagram and you're just solving and factoring, I'll accept both. You are on your own with number 2. Please let me know when you think you have the final answer. I'll come around and check it. Or if you're just stuck somewhere, I'll help you out. X minus 1 should not show up in your proportion. That's not a side, not a full side. Everyone watching at home, here's the final answer.